Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, everything really, depending on the guests. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats, and you'll recognize my guest from a lot of really cool TV shows and films, but most recently she's going to star in Big Sky, which is going to be premiering November 17th on ABC. We're with Dedee Pfeiffer. Dedee, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you. Hey, Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for doing this. And you know, it's an exciting time. I was talking to you before we kind of officially started. I mean, a lot of teasers and a lot of kind of trailers for this show are circulating around, and they use the term highly anticipated, and I think this is going to be a highly anticipated show that people are excited for.
It is highly anticipated.
No, but I think people are excited for it. It's David E. Kelly, your brother-in-law. It's the first time you're working with him on this. I mean, it's just, I bet it's an exciting time right now.
It's really exciting, yeah. And I think that we're all really, really, really ready for something new. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, something
And do
new.
you think that's why, I mean, you say that too, I feel like, because we've been talking to my show a lot, I interview a lot of people, and they're saying they've been watching a lot of like horror movies and a lot of thrillers, and I feel like that genre is being so popular because people are realizing that there's more things out there to scare people rather than the cheap jump scares and the gore. Like, the world is scary, Dedee.
Well, that's what's so great about Big Sky. Okay, here, that's a nice segue. Because, like, I'm going to think twice next time I go on a road trip after watching this, because that's what's so crazy about this story is that everything in this story is contemporary. It can happen. It already has happened in certain, populations of people, and this is a wild ride. Buckle up. After every episode, you'll be like, what? Oh my God, I can't wait till next week. I promise you that.
But it's one of those things too where, anything, like, one could make an argument, like, anything David E. Kelly touches turns to gold. Like, I've watched all his shows, right? So I feel like there's a lot of kind of people in the entertainment industry that want people just kind of like knock them down every time they have something new type thing. And I think people are really excited for his new project. So I'm sure it's exciting for everyone kind of involved, right?
Yeah, like I was saying, that we're all like, we're so done with things that are depressing and noisy and COVID-y and it's funny. Our show, he's so great. It's like takes place post-COVID. So you'll hear like it's not like commented on other than like little things like, oh, when COVID, I mean, that's how it's referred to. And I'm thinking, oh, one day when we can refer to COVID as in the past, our show takes place post-COVID. So that's kind of fun in a way, right?
That's interesting. When did you did it get halted? Production get halted because of COVID for the show?
Dude, yeah, we were in New Mexico doing our thing. We started pre-production, hair, makeup, testing, the whole thing, balls rolling. Everyone met, big love fest. And I had 2 weeks before I filmed. Jesse had already done just one scene. I jumped on a plane to go home to tell my boys, okay, guys, going back, we're going to start working on the show. But before I even got on the plane, my friend texted me and said, you better get toilet paper when you get home. And this whole word pandemic. And I was like, what is that? What's going on? Like, we literally had no idea. Like, all of us in the world were going, what is going on? And all I know is when I landed, I got home, I went to Costco, and I've been traumatized ever since. I mean, I just reached in, a crowd of crazy people, and I grabbed toilet paper and went home, and then we shut down and disappeared for months, came back and said, now you're going to Canada. And now I'm in Canada. We're doing it here.
Absolutely. And we'll get into more Big Sky, but specifically for you, Dedee, as like a storyteller and an actor, I kind of wanted to know like when that kind of started for you in terms of when you decided that's something you want to do. Like, we also understand too that your sister Michelle Pfeiffer, she also acts as well, been in some of my favorite movies as well.
She's just a little actress.
No, but like, did that come into play as well with you trying did that inspire you to be an actor? Did you guys help each other out? Like, when did you decide that storytelling and acting was something you want to do?
Well, first of all, I'm 56. 56, yeah, 56. If you're gonna be, once you turn 50, you better have some fun with it. Otherwise, it's gonna be miserable. I'm 56. By the way, Denise, my character, is 50, so I'm playing a younger woman. Just saying. And when I was 18, 1,000 years ago, I'd already worked since I was 12. Numerous jobs. Was bored with everything I would do. Work, bored, quit. Work, bored, quit. So at that point at 18, I had thought, oh, I'm graduated. What am I going to do? Michelle was doing, I call her Shell. She was doing Scarface and doing quite well. And I said, hey, I think I want to try that thing, acting. And she was like, stop. Don't even think about an agent. Don't even think about headshots. Get your butt into an acting class. So she hooked me up with the best acting coach, Peggy Fury at the time. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was going to try it, do well at it, get bored with it, and move on. The problem is that I sucked so bad. Like, I was so bad because I was painfully shy. I still am when it comes to big groups. Painfully shy. That there I was 2 years later, still in acting class, trying to figure it out. So I wasn't going to quit until I figured it out. Well, guess what? I never, 56 years old, I still haven't figured it out. But I felt like I was good enough to maybe go into the field and do an interview and see if I can get a job. It took me about another year and I got a job and I got hooked. And that's big. So it was a kind of an accident.
and then after that, you know, you had some really cool roles and lead roles on shows like Sybil and everything. But I know you took a break, and I feel like it was important because, I mean, you know, you went back to school, you raised a family and everything. I mean, when did you kind of realize the importance of that break? Because everyone needs that break sometimes, you know, like myself too. I'm working on something big and I need to do something different. I mean, at one point you have to do it, right? For the mind and soul as well.
Yeah, Peter, man, you hit it right on the head. 10 year, yeah, I took a 10-year break. Mm-hmm. And I called it a permanent pause, which I know doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I hadn't quit because I don't believe in quitting, but I definitely took a different trajectory in my life. 10 mm-hmm. years ago, at that point in my career, I was getting really frustrated. I had 2 young boys raising on my own, and the industry that I had been so loyal to wasn't really behaving loyal back to me. And I didn't like what was happening with women. And it's like, guys could get all chubby and gray haired and wrinkly and they were sexier mm-hmm. and were unemployed. And just some stuff that I thought, wow, I'm raising 2 boys. And I don't think I support a lot of that. And I also was always very concerned about social welfare issues. Mm-hmm. I always was doing volunteer work, saving wild animals, mm-hmm. Children's Hospital, Project Angel Food with, at that time, people dying of AIDS. I did a lot of that in between acting gigs because you have a lot of downtime when you're unemployed, that I decided I wanted to, long story short, I wanted to do something more.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like I'm going to stick around. This career is not going to do anything. So I thought I would literally go to school for a year, get a degree, and then go help people. Well, I was really wrong. It took me 10 years because I didn't know what I was doing. I had not been in school since 1982. If you do the math, we didn't have computers, no thesis statement. I didn't know algebra. I didn't know why there was an X in the. I literally had a lot of prerequisites just to get the first degree. Like they tested me and they were like, this poor thing.
It takes a lot of time. I have a master's as well. It just takes so much time.
10 years. And I had 2 kids in tow, but I literally, check this out. I was finishing my master's in social work at UCLA when I got this gig. Yeah.
Wow.
Which was, David doesn't know this, and he might find out if he's listening to this. He threw me a lifeline because I was about to graduate after 10 years. Social workers, unbeknownst to me before I started the journey, don't make any money. And it's certainly not with 2 boys in tow. So I wasn't sure how I was going to make it, honestly. But I knew I needed to help people. I wanted to help people. So he said, hey, I have this role. Are you still acting? And I was like, it was text. I was like, yes, E-E-E-E-S-S-S-S-S. So yeah, so there was an overlap of starting the pilot and finishing my degree.
And I want you to, without giving anything away, like everyone's excited for the show. I mean, you talked a little bit about it in the intro. Like what? So, can you talk a little bit about Big Sky and your character in Big Sky? Like, what can we expect from this show and from your character?
The show is a wild ride. Buckle up. It's going to be scary, fun. My character's a little funny. I'm not going to say ha-ha funny, or I don't like run across the stage like Jim Carrey or anything. But like all of David's projects, it's quirky. Mm-hmm. This is a very eclectic cast, diverse cast. The story, some of the stuff's going to be charged. David doesn't play. I mean, he goes for some stuff that's kind of uncomfortable, mm-hmm. Which is great. It's thought-provoking, makes you think and feel, sometimes at the same time. Denise is, she works at the detective office with the girls. She's been there for a long time. She's part of the fabric. She's mama bear, den mother. She's the go-to girl. She's the rock. She also is able to find some humor in moments where you need to breathe before you go back and try to find the girls.
Yeah.
Denise is definitely that breath where you can smile and laugh a little bit.
Absolutely. I'm excited for the show. But here's the thing. I was telling you before. I was excited about the show before I got the opportunity to interview you. You know what I mean? Well, no, it's one of those things where like there's a lot there. It's highly anticipated, like we said. It's an exciting time.
It really is highly anticipated.
It is for sure. Okay, so I did tell you before we started that you've done TV shows here and there, an episode here, an episode there. There's one show that's very popular on my household and very popular among my friend circle that you did. And of course, that's Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And you did the opposite episode, and you were Victoria, and that's amazing. Like it's so cool.
You know that like I said, I just was auditioning. They kept saying no. So when I finally scored one, I was like, it's an actor's dream when you get a Seinfeld episode.
No, and
it's the 100th episode or something, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, no, but it's one of those things too where like, and it's pretty crazy because it's all like that. That's a pretty. There's a lot of popular things that I was just searching because there's memes of your conversation with him at the coffee shop, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's a meme with me in it?
There's a meme right there.
I got to show my boys that. Now they might be impressed with me. I have 2 teenagers who are like, Mom, give me a Domino's pizza. I'm like, I'm going to be on Uncle David's show. They're like, that's cool. Hey, listen, there's this new game I need. It's $95. And I'm on David. I got to roll. Yeah, Mom. Hey, listen, make sure there's no mushrooms on that side of the pizza because that's Braxton's side and Max does like the pineapple.
Hey, guys, I'm in a meme.
I'm wondering now if I'll impress them. Yeah, Mom's on a meme. They're going to be like, mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's a very simple line. I mean, the Seinfeld fans will eat this up. Quick reenactment right here. My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Oh, you want me to say the line?
Yes. Okay, we'll redo it. I'll tell you, this is good. It's just, I'm Victoria. Hi.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
So we do that. I'm gonna add. Okay, so what's that? 1, 2, 3. My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi. I don't remember that, dude. I don't remember what I did this morning. That was like 50,000 years ago.
Sometimes it's funny because I know, but it's just like but you have to admit that we talked about before. It's pretty cool that you did one episode and like people remember that episode.
Well, yeah, I'm a meme. Like I'm sitting here, I can't get over the meme part. I'm like, you made it when you're a meme. I think
the popularity and the fan groups of Seinfeld, though, it's insane. It's crazy.
I kind of live in a bubble. I know things, but not really. Like I was telling you before we got on the air, I'm like always the last to know something. Like I didn't know I had a meme. I don't live in the same world as most people. Like I just got an Instagram account, literally for the show, and discovered that somebody else took my name. They stole my name. And then I don't have a Twitter. And this other reporter said, yes, you do. I said, I don't have a Twitter. I wouldn't even know how to figure that out. And he goes, well, you're tweeting out there. I said, well, am I saying nice things?
Yeah, all you have to do is just search on Google, George. All you have to do, all I did, it was easy. I didn't even have to put Seinfeld. I just Googled George opposite. And it comes up. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. You don't even have to put Seinfeld. You just put George.
My friends will tell you I'm the most electronically challenged person. Shocking I got through college, but let me tell you, it wasn't because I don't have a master's in electronics. That's for damn sure. Okay. Yeah. I know the peripheral nervous system and behavior, but I don't know how to turn. Like today, you saw me get on your thing. I was like, how do I get on here?
Well, it was fine. I mean, it's. I feel like people realize like the setup I have right now is not as like. But they're told that click this link, you'll log on. They go, oh my God, it's a link. I've never heard of this, but it's not that hard. And I haven't had that much like trouble with it, to be honest with you. Knock on wood. Learning experiences. I want to talk to you quickly before we wrap up. Learning experiences. I mean, every project you work on, whether you've been working for 1 year or 10 years, there's always going to be something you're going to learn. There's always going to be something new. For Big Sky, what were some learning experiences for Dedee Pfeiffer?
Oh, wow. All of that revolves around COVID. Honestly, we have a skeleton crew. I can't tell you what they look like. They're all wearing masks. There's an intimacy that goes into filmmaking that is no longer at this point. It's a temporary pause on that. And it's like everything, you kind of take it for granted. The bonding with the cast, the bonding with the crew. I love the crew. I love cast, but I really like the crew. The crew are the guys and the gals that get their, get all dirty and get all in there and do all the hard work.
They're the unsung heroes.
Absolutely. Like, I love me some crew, right? And I've got to say, it's been really difficult to be separated from them. When we walk through, they can't be in the room. They're in like a different bubble. And so I miss that intimacy. And I've had to learn to leave space for being so grateful to be working at a time where most are very unemployed in food lines. Okay, number one. And number two, also leave room for the sadness of how it has changed. I have to leave space for both. Sadness that I really don't feel like I know anybody really, other than like on a Zoom or going to have a beer. Kind of don't do that. You can here in Canada, because you guys have it much more figured out than we do in the States, but it would certainly not be the most responsible thing, I feel, for me to be the one that gets COVID, because the whole set shuts down for 2 weeks.
It was there was a lot, and there was a lot. There wasn't a consistency also with like I find like certain projects restarted, went back like sooner than I thought they would, and some projects like there wasn't a consistency. Different productions had different timelines. It was all over the place. Like I was told it was really difficult for like the crew and the actor, because no one really knew what was going on for like 4 months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can see that now. It's like we're breaking new ground. We're making the rule book as we go on how to produce and act and do a production in a COVID situation.
Well, there have never been rules for it before.
Rule book on this. And I say to everybody who gets frustrated sometimes, and I say, listen, hold on. Nobody knows how to do this. We're literally figuring it out as we go, trial and error. Oh, this is working. Oh, that's not working. We first got here, quarantined for 2 weeks. They were Canada, I got to give it to you. Man, you guys don't play. You do not play. And that's why your numbers are down. And I love that. They checked on us while we were in COVID. In quarantine, to make sure. And we then start off with getting tested 3 times a week, whether you were working or not. Like, you had to go to the set. Some of it's an hour drive, right? That's now 2 times a week. But you have to do, it's right. You have to everyone's figuring it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a crazy time. Dedee, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Oh, Peter, you are welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Watch the show.
Yes, November 17th, correct?
Yes. And follow me on Instagram, not Twitter, because I don't know who that person is. Like, how do you do that? Say, hey, do you Twitter them and say, I don't know I'll have my son figure it out. Like, he does all that. Dedee Pfeiffer official. Because the other one is an imposter. Official.
Perfect.
I'm like, so.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that reenactment of the scene from Seinfeld, because that was the highlight. That was one of the best. I have to tell you, I've done over 500 interviews, and that's like one of the coolest things that's ever happened on the show.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for making that moment. Like, that is so cool, and I appreciate that.
It's warmed my heart. Thank you.
For sure. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you will be able to check out Dedee Pfeiffer in Big Sky, November 17th on ABC. And until next time, this is Dedee Pfeiffer and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.